Hello, I'm Richard Ridge for Broadway World. We're at the 90th Annual Drama League Awards, where I caught up with many of this year's nominees.
I love today that it celebrates directors. I'd like to work with Maria Friedman someday. I adore her. I also just love to be in a room with all of these beautiful people of the community and celebrate each other on this dais and look across and wave and talk to each other. So it's one of those very kind of social days that feels really fun at the end of a season.
The bestie I would like to get to know today is Leslie Odom Jr., and I heard we might be sitting beside each other, and then I might actually get to break bread with him, so I'm very excited. And I would love to spend as much time as possible with my director, Annie Kaufman, because I just love her so much. Yeah.
I've loved working this time with Tina Landau.
Yeah.
It's actually the first time I've ever worked with a female director in my long career. Isn't that just amazing? Yeah. So that's been a wonderful experience.
Obviously, Maria Friedman, I mean, it's just what she's done with this show, what she has, I was just saying to somebody else, she has an ability to engender emotion in actors that I've never experienced before. I've never been moved by a note before, and literally she gave me a note once and I did it and I just started crying. I was like, that's crazy. That's definitely a skill.
Stephen Daldry. He's inventive, fresh, imaginative, but he leads with love. And so with clarity and love. And so he's my guy.
Director-wise, I adore Rebecca Franknell. I want to sort of live in her imagination. The way she sees the world is wondrous. So Rebecca, but also I was lucky enough just to meet Maria Friedman, who I just think her work is glorious, and thought Merrily was such a stunning piece this season. So those are my peeps.
The director who's had a huge influence on me is the one I've been working with recently, which is Tina Landau. I mean, she is, she's excessively creative, but the thing about her that I've told everybody is, the word I keep using is, she's so healthy. There is something so free but stable about her. She makes a very safe room. A safe room. That sounds fun. But it does have a feeling of like free to create, because I don't know. I've just never worked with anybody quite like her. She's amazing.
Rupert Gould, who I had a remarkable journey with in working on Patriots. He is perhaps one of the most uncommonly, dazzlingly brilliant individuals I've ever met. Full of humility, but at the same time full of wonderful, inspiring ideas, and has a remarkable way of encouraging and inspiring you to do your best work.
Director I want to work with, director I've worked with, Kenny Leon all day, Adania Tamor, come on, Whitney White all day. Whitney White, she's the one. Whitney, come here. Whitney, this is Whitney White.
Oh, hi.
Whitney White is the one.
Well, I mean, I have to say Whitney White, who works with me on Jaws. I just think she's so brilliant. She's so funny. She's such a full-rounded artist. And we just had the most incredible collaboration and connection. And I think that's what's such a beautiful thing about the Drama League, that they celebrate the really beautiful, intense work that directors have to do. And it's been a great partnership. So I'm excited to kiki with her again.
I mean, I just have to say Daniel Ocken, who is directing me currently in Stereophonic. He is the most patient, gentle leader. He leads with suggestion and always a question, and he trusts his actors so much, which makes us trust him. He's just the loveliest, smartest, best magical director I've ever worked with. I love him.
Daniel Ocken was actually the first director that hired me as a choreographer. I did not, even though my work has always been theatrical, I didn't necessarily have musical theater experience. So Daniel Ocken, Idamar Moses, and Michael Friedman asked me to be a part of the Fortress of Solitude. And so it just set me on my career. So I'm very thankful to them and have a very special, deep place in my heart for them.
My director for The Outsiders is Danya Tamor. She's a brilliant brilliant artist, and not just an artist, but someone that respects everyone from the top down. The crew, the cast, her fellow creative team, the producers. She's just really a class act. And so to get to work under her and her beautiful vision is just, it's a real gift. So yeah, I'm really excited to be here and celebrate.
The director who has had the largest influence on me probably to date happens to be the one I'm currently working with, which is Lila Neugebauer. She's a director I've wanted to work with my entire career, and in the beginning of her career, she was directing a lot of downtown cool plays that nobody seemed to want me in, and so I never got to work with her. I only ever met her at like cool theater parties that I felt like a big poser, and I just think she's extraordinary, and I hope to work with her every day for the rest of my life.
I'd like to work with Lila Neugebauer again. I think she's brilliant, and Michael Greif. You know, if you're out there, Michael, you've got my number. These are two directors I would absolutely love to work with.
I'm just going to shout out Michael Greif because I just finished working with him, and it was, from off-Broadway to Broadway, it's been the lengthiest process I've ever been lucky enough to have with a director. And we had a very, we spar, we arm wrestle. And I appreciated his willingness to do that with me because I knew that we had the same end goal in mind, which is how can we make this the greatest it can be. So I shout out my dear love, Michael Greif.
The director that I've enjoyed working with the most in the history of my career is Graciela Danielle. And the reason is because she is brilliant at movement, as well as acting, as well as telling the story of a song. She knows how to do all of it and figures it out for your body so that you're not cookie cutter like anybody else.
I mean, I have to shout out Joe Mantello, who really instilled trust and poured into me and really pulled out a performance out of me. Of course, Rachel Chavkin, the trust that she has in her actors is just unparalleled. So I want to lift both of them up.
The director who has influenced me the most, George C. Wolfe. That was one of the best rooms. Shuffle Along, he's a legend. He's an icon. And I think everyone who is a director in this business can point to George as being a North Star for them. And he's one for me.
John Doyle, who I've worked with twice, I think is really a singular, brilliant, beautiful director. He works from paring things down. He's a minimalist, and it's all about starting with a million things in the room, props, ideas, and then as they become unnecessary, he sheds them. And I aspire to that in my acting. I think as the rehearsal process goes on, as the performances go on, you can let go of more things. And I think that the power of the playwright's words can come through more strongly that way. And I mean, he's a darling. I love him.